episode 147. If I don't say that right now, I'm gonna forget.
Like, we literally talked about it a minute and a half ago.
Literally. Like, what? Okay. I'm not doing well with numbers today, guys. Apparently, when you spend 3 days doing nothing but business numbers, your brain doesn't number all weekend.
Oh, yeah. No, you're
all
numbered
weekend.
out.
I am numbered out so badly.
That's okay.
3 8-hour days of nothing but paperwork and talking business entrepreneurship. So Friday night, I lay down with a migraine. Too much visual acuity for me. This is the Northern Knits Podcast. I'm Jocelyn, my co-host is
Diana.
and we occasionally actually get to talk about knitting.
Sometimes.
Whenever I stop derailing us. It is Sunday, January the something or other.
Oh, what we don't even
The
know.
12th?
The 12th. It is the 12th today.
I was like, wait a minute, we read cat facts today before we started. Because I have a daily cat fact calendar, thanks to my cousin, who, her and her son kindly gave it to me, along with a pair of cat socks, and a talking cat Christmas card. I will go find that for you.
Oh my goodness. You didn't tell me about the talking cat Christmas card.
Oh yeah, you open it, it sings at you.
Whoa.
In a Christmas carol of cat meows.
That sounds awful.
It is! And it's amazing and I love it so very much. And my mom made me put it away. She just looked at me. That's the look you get from your mother. What? It's don't you dare do that again. I closed it up and I slipped it back in its thing. I was, I know better.
That's put that away now face.
That was the put that away now face or you're in trouble. I'm like, okay, close that up, slide that away.
It's good to know mothers never lose that power no matter how old their kids get.
Nope. There's also the you're in trouble voice.
Ooh,
Yeah, I'm 36 years old, and when I get the you're in trouble voice, I immediately return to wherever my mother is, and I stand behind her and I'm very quiet because she might try to ground me. I don't know. It is what it is. All right, we've got a lot of knitting, we've got a lot of crocheting. Last week there was a clip disappearance, so Diana kindly brought back her FO from last week to talk about it again this week. So we have tons to cover. We've had a bunch of sugar.
Yeah.
Because lemon raspberry cake and blueberry scones had to happen today.
Absolutely.
So let's get the party started.
I also had like an entire pot of tea before I came over.
Sure, ready to life.
I'm ready to life. Let's life.
I got up at my regular time this morning and had a traditional Japanese breakfast.
I've been thinking I should do traditional Scottish and or English breakfasts.
Yeah, every once in a while just throw in a random breakfast that isn't the super normal stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the beans. I really like British style beans. I
never
don't like
had
North
them.
American beans. I like British beans.
I've never had them.
It's the tomato sauce instead of like a sugar sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be much better.
Yeah. It's good.
Okay. I'm gonna eat
Anyway.
my scone. Do you want to tell everybody what we're covering this week?
Yeah, what we the vague framework for today's podcast is what's in our cup, cool threads, woolly workings. I forgot to ask you about Yarn on the Go. I assume there's some of that in there. Wool gathering and kniterature.
I went to a 3-day seminar for 8 hours a day, you betcha.
Okay, perfect. We have some Yarn on the Go then, because I got nothing.
We'll have some next week too.
So in addition to cake, I'm drinking some lovely matcha tea. We also bought tea with our cake, so what kind of tea did you buy?
I picked up some Herba Mat lemon ginger. Herba Mat is a local to us tea people. They're a cooperative, but I don't fully know what their whole cooperative is about. But I love their tea. So I picked up some of their lemon ginger, which was really lemon gingery. Super good.
It smells very lemon gingery.
I love their teas. The ones that I've tried, I very, very much enjoy. And the matcha tea is the stuff I got when we were at Momo, Japan Living in St. Mata.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Is this the... Yes. You fortunately put the logo on both sides.
I have my Joy Inside mug. I don't know if I'm holding it right side up. I can't tell.
You are.
Cool.
Well, relative to the camera anyway.
Some days that's all that matters. I'm scarfing blueberry tea biscuit from Co-op because A, I can have them, and B, they're tasty. I feel like that's all the justification I require. So the thing, I also have a ginger ale on the go because why wouldn't I? It's always one of those ones you get those questionnaires. They're like, 20 random facts. What's your favorite beverage? I'm like, do you people really need me to fill this out now?
I think I've been hanging around you too much because I frequently have like 4 beverages on my desk because I've got my water.
Yes.
And then if it's anywhere near mealtime, I've got a can of bubbly.
Yep.
But then I frequently also have either tea or coffee. So like there's a solid 3 beverages on my desk at all times.
Yes. I do want to bet that you never have to worry about being dehydrated and having mild headaches or feeling exhaustion because your body doesn't have enough liquid.
At work, no, I don't do these things at home.
You should
I've
do those
discovered
things at home.
I've discovered as of this weekend, if I just make a giant pot of tea, I will drink the whole pot of tea,
There's nothing wrong with that.
and that's like a liter of liquid.
That's fine. That's good.
So apparently, just making it visible is very, very important.
Yes, absolutely.
So there,
Liquid
make it
is-
visible.
Liquids are important. Water is important. Making sure you have enough hydration going on is important. Don't overhydrate. Don't underhydrate. Hydrate the right amount for you. And when you're well hydrated and you've fed yourself an appropriate number of healthy calories and you sleep relatively decent, or at least you go to bed at the same time 6 out of 7 nights a week. 6 out of 7 nights a week. I've been doing this the whole time, you guys. I had a plate on a cake earlier today. The words are not coming. When you do that, you're just relatively healthier all around.
Yep.
It's really boring basic adult stuff.
But it's good to feel good.
I like feeling good, so it just doesn't make sense for me not to do these things. Does it mean I'm a little ridiculous when I'm getting in and out of my dad's truck when we're driving to Saskatoon? Yes, because I have my tea, then I have a bottle of water, then I have whatever else is going on, plus I got stuff in the cooler in the back. And we have to stop every 2.5 hours so I go to the bathroom. And Mom can get out and stretch her legs. So
It's important. Stretching is also important.
Dad does it too, so it's something we all do.
It's an important thing.
It's habit. And it's a habit for me to have 50 billion beverages on the go at the time.
All right, now that we've waxed poetic about beverages and hydration,
Listen,
do we need to write haikus?
this
about
is
hydration.
important.
Hydration
Yes,
haikus.
we need hydration haikus.
Okay.
They have to exist somewhere.
If you have a hydration haiku, please leave it in the comment
comments
below.
Yes,
We want your hydration haikus.
we so need your hydration haikus. You have no idea. Okay,
Okay.
when
cool
they
friends.
start rolling in, I'm so texting you.
Cool
Do you want to go
friends.
first because that was the part where we cut you off last week?
Okay.
Because we transitioned from Cool Threads to FO.
All right. Yes. So between all our various technical things last
Oh my
week,
god, guys, it wasn't pretty.
we evidently lost the clip where I talked about my giant finished object.
It was a huge clip. I was so mad when I figured I was gone. I was so mad.
Oh. So I'll try to remember all of the lovely things that I said about my Glam Lamb. It is now finished. This is the Glam Lamb by, let's not cover my face so the microphone can actually hear me. This is the Glam Lamb by Stephen West, done out of Loops and Threads Charisma in charcoal for the body and black for the sleeves. It is so freaking cozy. I have been wearing it all week. However, if I were going to make it again, I don't really like these lapel things. I've now washed it. Last week I hadn't washed it and blocked it. I washed it and blocked it. It didn't change anything.
Okay.
It's acrylic. I didn't really expect it to, except maybe to even stuff out a little bit. So.
Well, yeah, but that's really all you'd get out of just a wash and gentle block anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
In a
I just-
bulky yarn.
Just don't really like these lapel things. So if I was going to do this again, I would not do a lapel thing. It would just be a straight up and down. Let's put it on here at least a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Anyway, yeah. These, because it just doesn't hang right. You can't really.
Quite right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you would do a straight edge.
Yeah. The other thing is I made the medium size, which seemed to be the size that was being modeled on the pattern, and I seem to be the same dimensions as the model, and so hey, I figured let's make it the same size that's in there. And it's alright, but I probably would have made a small, or at least the small back, because when I'm trying to wear it
Yeah, because I'm the medium back.
right, when I'm trying to wear it the right way up, it's just a little too wide across the shoulders.
Okay. No, because I did the medium back with the large fronts. Which
Yeah.
worked well proportion-wise. I just didn't like how the yarn was draping.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing that I did change was I like really long sleeves. So I made the sleeves so that they came down to my knuckles, which is great because the pattern calls for sleeves that would have come to just barely my wrist.
Bracelet length.
Yeah,
Bracelet length.
which I didn't like.
Yes, ma'am.
So the sleeves are as long as I would like them. When I wear it the right, in heavy quotations, the right way up. I've been mostly wearing it because it hangs funny, I think. I think it hangs funny on me. Maybe I'm just ridiculous. So I've been wearing it the upside down way where you get a shawl collar, which has been fantastic because it fits under my winter coat better that way, and also then I don't need to wear a scarf because it's just built into the sweater. And it's so freaking cozy. The only problem with wearing it that way, also I like how it hangs better, and the lapel things are still a little bit weird, but it's okay. I think maybe it needs like a belt or something. I think I need to go shopping for a belt.
Okay.
Maybe that's it. I'm
Possibly.
not sure. But the problem with wearing it upside down then is that the sleeves, instead of starting just below my shoulder like a drop shoulder, they start more at my elbow.
So then they're too
really long.
Yeah.
So I end up having to roll them up, which isn't the end of the world. It just ends up being a little bit of a bulkier look than I necessarily wanted.
Okay.
So overall, I give this project a B+. I like it, but if I were to do it again, I'd make some changes, and honestly, I probably won't do it again. So I like it, I'm going to wear it, but it's not my favorite thing that I've ever made. But I'm very proud to have finished a sweater, and I've been wearing it a lot anyway.
I've been listening to way too much Limited Resources.
What's that?
It is a podcast that deals with drafting in Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
And they rank cards when new sets come out, and they give them letter rankings, and they tell you the justifications for said letter rankings. So a B+ is something that you would put in your deck pretty relatively. Wouldn't be your first pick, but it's definitely
Yeah, B+.
B+. You'd do it again, but you'd make some changes.
Yeah.
Depending on what you're working on.
Oh gosh. Okay, so this is super duper cozy, and I need to take it off now because I'm melting.
I don't keep my apartment very cold. I don't keep it very warm.
It's a very normal temperature in here,
It's just
and this
a normal temp.
This is too warm. However, it's been often between like -20 and -30.
It's been crisp.
So -30 with that underneath my parka.
See, that sounds
Fantastic.
lovely to me.
It's been fantastic. It's a little bit bulky in the sleeve area,
That's okay.
but it's so warm and perfect.
Excellent. Okay, cool.
So it's finished it just in time for the -30, which is great.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so
I'm eyeballing that leftover cake.
that's my.
I really don't need it. It's just a small cake, guys. All right.
Okay, that was my finished object from last week that I've been wearing a lot this week. That was good above.
For my days out, I've been wearing my Squish shawl and my Find Your Fade shawl. My Squish shawl was I surprised Diana by knitting an entire shawl and not telling her I was working on it.
Great. Grump?
Couple
Maybe
years ago, like our first year, second year, I don't remember when it must have been like our first year. Was it our first year or last year?
Oh my gosh, I don't remember.
I don't. Not this previous year, but the year before. I think it's not this previous Christmas, but the Christmas before.
Years 2 and 3 are running together at this point.
Yeah. I did an MCAL quietly, like off the books. I said nothing about it, and I finished it and completed it on time and had a full-on crescent-shaped shawl. So I just, one day, we sat down to record and I had this whole completed block shawl.
Just whips out this shawl like, so I did a shawl in a week.
So I did a thing. Then I was like, ah! It was great, totally worth it.
This is where we insert the that raging face that's just like FFFFU.
Yep. I like when your brain just goes, I don't understand. It's like I looked at you and went, and by the way, the color blue is no longer blue. Like it's actually teal. Like and down is no longer up. Like let's play with your world for a bit. It was great. It's a wonderful shawl. I wear it when it gets this cold because it's like my alpaca shawl. It's a nice heavier worsted weight natural yarn, so I'm not in danger of losing it. And in the case of the Squish shawl, for me, it is in shades of green, which look really nice on my coat.
Mm-hmm.
I've had to give up on Diana mittens because mine is 30. And I'm at my regular winter mittens with the grippy pads because I use a cane. So I need to have my one hand out and gripped around something at all times.
You need to give me those mittens so
I
that
do.
I can fix them.
I do. I left them out. I'm hoping I remember because they're not in pockets anymore.
We'll try. We'll get it eventually.
Mm-hmm. So that is the things I've been wearing. Besides my mallow cardigan, which literally just lives under my winter coat. Because I have a wool coat and a wool sweater and a second sweater, depending on how cold it is. When we get to -40, I have the turtleneck.
Oof. Yeah, I need to get a wool coat, but it would be more of a -10, 15 kind of coat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mine goes to like -20, 30. But it just depends on how the wind's going. It's technically not great for this province, but I really like the look of it, so I just deal with the extra layers.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And once I get moving, I get warm, so it's fine.
In addition to my giant bulky sweater, I've also been wearing my Find Your Fade.
Yeah.
Because it's fantastic and somehow goes with
Everything.
everything. Because it's got all of the colors.
Yeah.
And somehow does not clash. It's a bit magical, that Find Your Fade. Highly recommend. Might take you 2.5 years to knit it, but when it's done, you will love it.
Oh my god. So funny. Okay.
And I've also worn every hand knit hat that I own. So that's the Katie hat by the Cozy Up Knits.
Yep.
The Sockhead slouch, and wore my Lindsay hat. And then I realized that it used to be like a cream beige, and it is currently more of a gray beige, and so it's in the wash pile.
Cool.
Yeah. Gotta wash that. So I'm gonna do that tonight. Yeah. The Lindsay slouch is a lace crochet one. And
yes, it is.
It's quite
I like
nice.
the Lindsay slouch.
Yeah, I have some. Okay, so you know that yarn that my mom's gloves are, the brown ones that are.
Yes.
Yeah, that
yes.
I need to fix still.
Yeah.
I have that, but purple.
Oh, that would make a nice Lindsay slouch.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That's a good thinking.
Something like that, anyway. It's a single. It's a DK weight, I think. Single ply merino silk.
Okay, that'd be pretty.
In a jewel purple color. So
that's very you. Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
So Midnight Cravings put out 2 colorways. Like 2 different like trio sets together, and they're like, oh, because they had one staple and they had changed the accent colors. And I was like, which one would you choose? I'm like, well, that's easy. Number 1 would be me. Number 2 would be Diana. So that automatically tells you number 2 pulled out the purples and blues, and then number 1 pulled out the golds and copper colors. I was like, done and done. Don't even need to think about it. I need both sets. I need one
so
for
do I.
me and one for Diana.
I also love golds and coppers. So...
Yeah, well, both of them are freaking
So I think we both
gorgeous.
need both.
We both need both. I could
Okay.
totally justify
Both
both
need
need both. They're 3 skeins, so they would make a Stephen West shawl or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, Midnight Cravings, just this really nice yarn.
That too.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, moving along.
Yep.
Woolly Workings. I have 2 things.
I have more than 2.
Yes. Yes, you do, apparently.
Because my life is... Diana tells me that it doesn't count as a finished object if the ends are woven in.
She held up this bag of little squares and said, I have 72 finished objects.
I do! There are 72 finished 2.5 inch squares.
I don't think that counts as finished objects.
It doesn't, because they're not sewn into what they're supposed to be. I took on a commission. It's for my aunt. I don't have a huge family, and she is very, very knit worthy. So I really do enjoy knitting for her. So I'm making her a blanket. She requested one. It's for her bed, so it is a big project. So I was like, okay, I need several months to do this because I have to put my stuff aside to work on her things. And I don't mind doing it. So I have started hers, mostly because I'm working on a 5mm crochet hook, and I have to make 50 billion 2.5 inch squares. I have to make 2 balls worth of each color, and I need 6 colors. And I'm using the Bernat Premium, and I can make 72 squares per ball. So I need 144 squares of each color. Is that right? What's 72 plus 72?
Yeah, 144. 44, yeah.
Yeah. So I need 144 baby blue squares. I have 72, so I have another 72 to make. But I need...
Good grief.
They actually get sewn together through the back loop. It's a free pattern. One of these days I'll actually update my project pages.
Mm-hmm. One of these days? Yeah.
And the apocalypse will come.
Yeah.
But you sew them together through the back loop, and you diamond pattern them out from the center with neutral to split up some of your rounds, and it actually makes this very beautiful grid work crochet blanket. It's beautiful. It's this wonderful striping pattern that a lot of people do like rainbow color patterns with. So they do one ball of, and they do 12 different colors, and you rainbow pattern it out. But my aunt really prefers blues and greens, so I'm making hers out of blues and greens, and I'm just going to repeat the stripes. Okay. So I'll do blue, and then a green, and then a blue, and then a green, and repeat it out for her blanket. And it has a bordered edge. Well, the bordered edge is single crocheting around the edge of a whole blanket, so that'll be fun. It'll be huge at that point. It'll be like a round takes me 70 hours. But I have bought the colors for the blues because I haven't seen the greens out yet. It's just a little early for the greens. I think we don't have the greens going on. So I have 5 balls of Bernat Premium in blue.
Goodness, and those are all becoming squares.
And they're all have to turn into squares, and I get 72 squares per ball. And then I have to do this again with green. And then I have to do it again with my neutral split color, which I don't need 6 balls of, but I do need a number. I've broken all the math up. Because if it's something that's really like, and I do it and I put it up in something I take as a commission, like I'd have to know what I charge like a person who isn't family to make. So I had to do the math. So I've done the math now. That's frightening. Don't do the math. So I've got they've got names on them because Bernat Premium names their things, but I can't read them here. I'll give you a light blue.
The light blue is oh wait, no.
That's
Robin's...
French.
Huh, interesting. The French name, so the English name is robin's egg.
Okay.
But the French name translates to egg of the red throat.
Well, robins have red throats.
Yeah, I didn't know that's what they were called in French.
Neither did I.
Today I learned. Anyway, robin's egg blue.
And then I got this blue, which I think is technically teal.
Yes.
Which is the medium blue, because you need a light, a dark, and a medium. And then I have I think that's a royal blue.
Yes.
So, and then the dark blue is a royal blue. So it is done in an acrylic because my aunt, this specific aunt, she can't have wool, and nobody in their right mind wants to have a bedspread at like a queen size that you have to hang dry.
No, nobody does. No.
Like, I will put my comforters out on the line in the summertime because I can, but the idea of having to do that in the wintertime in my hemisphere, and I won't do one in a natural fiber for myself, not a whole bed. I will certainly do a couch afghan, no problem. A whole bed, that's something I gotta be able to put in the washing machine and the dryer. I have to. I can't even conceive of not being able to wash and dry this thing like crazy. And the Bernat holds up and it softens real quick. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's super soft to crochet to start with. Like, it's not washed, it's not blocked, it's already nice and soft.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that on a bed.
Yeah.
Oh, be great. So I gotta do that. So get ready for 72 squares on and off for the next 2 months or so. If I can get through a color or two a week, I should be seaming it when I go to visit my mom and dad in May. And from there, it can stay there, and then my aunt will pick it up when she's traveling in the summer. Yeah. So that way we don't have to mail it to her or anything. So
nice.
Yeah. So that's the big thing I've taken on, which means I've had to stop working on a couple of the other projects that I wanted to finish that are larger ones because I took money for this. It's like it takes precedence. Also, they're 2.5-inch granny crochet squares. I do them while I'm watching anime.
Yeah, I imagine you just one of those has got to be like less than an anime episode.
It is 3.4 minutes according to my stopwatch.
Wow.
While I'm watching an anime show.
So you can just crank those out.
I just crank them out.
Okay.
It's great.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, cool. It's 4.8 hours to make 72 squares. And I've given somebody enough information to do the math on how long that blanket's going to take me before I do the border. Don't do the math. Do not do the math. Did I charge my aunt a lot? No. No, you guys. She paid for the yarn and a little bit extra. That's it. She's not paying me for my time. It's my aunt. But if I like it and I put it together and I enjoy it, I certainly want to be able to know how much I would charge somebody who isn't family to make the same thing.
My answer to that is always going to be too much.
Oh, way too much. Nobody's going to pay me for to do it, but I'll certainly put it up as a thing. You know, if you want one, I will totally make one for you. This is what it costs. And I'd like to have those numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you've ever been in one of those designer shops where they're actually selling hand knit sweaters and they're like $2,000 and rightly so. But your average person is not going to pay $2,000 for a sweater.
No way, Jose. But since I know the math, I know the dimensions for a baby blanket, I can also do the math for commissions for baby blankets.
Yeah.
Which is a perfectly reasonable size to make for somebody. Or couch afghan. Kitten!
You're going to try and stick your nose in my cake?
Probably.
I'll keep a close eye on you.
Sometimes we lick stuff.
Please don't.
Because we're a cat. Alright, you have one more thing. I've got three more. So
I have 2 things, so you should go first.
I will go again. Last week I was crocheting the Dwell cardigan, which is the cardigan that won the Instagram question I posted a while ago and said, hey, which one should I make? Hey, look, the winner has been being made. I am done the body, and I'm done the collar piece, and I have a sleeve.
Ooh, that looks
So
excellent.
last week we weren't even seamed.
Last week it was just a rectangle.
Yeah.
A rather short rectangle.
Yeah, we had to finish making it. I have done some changes to the pattern, which is a free pattern with video tutorial. They have, it's a shorter rectangle, and then you do your collar to sort of extend out to build your shoulder spacing up, which is really nifty. But she doesn't have you do the full cocoon at the bottom. She has you stop, so your back end is shorter.
Okay.
Which looks great on a bunch of people. I am very tall in my height, and I love that cocoon cover the butt length. Like, I like that oval shape.
Okay.
That looks really good on my frame. Because it sort of balances my leg to body proportion, which Diana can tell you is quite skewed in the other direction. There's a lot of leg going on. And having things that fall below my butt to cut me off of there just help balance out my body proportions. So, and it gives me a better drape for my body height and size. So I prefer that look. So I made a bit of an alteration, and instead of making the collar stop at the bottom and just single crochet around the bottom section so it'd be shorter, I just did the stitch pattern repeat called for all the way around. So when I wear it, I get that nice drapey long elongated.
Looks so good. And
Oval
it's just
shape.
like, I love how the stripes worked out too.
Yeah, like it's come together so nicely. I'm doing this out of the Barcelona from Loops and Threads because I have no problems with washers and dryers. And when you come home after a -40 walk and you pull this bad boy out of the dryer,
Ooh.
you are a happy camper. And it has specifically been made for me to wear in the cold when I'm at home, when I get home and I want to cozy up under something, or give it to Miss C because she's over in crocheting and freezing to death.
She always does, no matter where she is.
It's fine. She's
just a cold person.
Yep. And then I did the sleeve. So the sleeve was a new sort of stitch orientation for me. It wasn't stitches I hadn't done before. I'd done all the stitches before, but it was a different way of like making a fake rib, like a crocheted rib. So I was working on that actually this morning, and then I bound off and texted Diana and said, okay, I'm gonna go shower now. It's not a full sleeve because I run warm. So the sleeve actually only comes down to about mid my forearm, which is like where my cardigan sleeves always sit, because I always push them up to here. So like that's pretty much where I stopped. I could have made a full sleeve, but for the purpose that I have made this for, it wouldn't work. Like springtime sitting out on the deck, fall puttering around doing errands and things, like I'm always pushing my sleeves up to this midway point because I start to get warm after a while. So that it wouldn't work, and it wouldn't work for what I do, like going out in the garden picking things up.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't want the full length sleeves. So I have got one sleeve left to do, and then literally 3 ends to weave it.
That's impressive.
Because I'll have the end on the other sleeve, I'll have the end for the collar, and I will have this end for the sleeve I've completed. Because all the other ones have been woven in as I've gone along.
So I might need to make one of those.
It's
so good.
It was such a fun crochet.
Do you happen to know off the top of your head how much yarn that takes?
I am on my 3rd ball of Barcelona. So yeah, we can actually do the math.
Okay.
Yeah. The balls are big for the Barcelona. I can get my other sleeve done out of this. So I will have used 3 of the 8 balls or 4 of the 8 balls.
I have, I think, 2 of the Karen Big Cakes in similar colors, and I want to make a sweater kind of like that.
Yeah, you might have to do a contrasting sleeve.
That's fine.
But yeah, I think she'll be able to do that. We'll double check the yardage.
Okay.
We'll do math.
Okay, I might make one too then.
You'll do math. I'll give you numbers.
I will do the math. I can do math things.
We're not gonna let Jocelyn do math. So that should be done next week. So I was out a lot this week, you guys. My cat has been angry at me. She's taken to when I shower now, lying on the bath mat and yelling at me before I'm even out of the shower.
You're leaving again.
I didn't. Okay, I left today. I didn't leave yesterday after I showered. My cousin brought dinner here, and I let the 23-year-old boy order dinner. There's a lot of leftovers in my fridge right now.
Can attest, there are many delicious looking leftovers. Delicious leftovers.
Delicious leftovers from Delicious! Ah! And he's not that huge of a mushroom fan, so I got 2/3 of the mushrooms too. Didn't even have to share this. Okay, you should go, and I got 2 more.
Okay.
They're actually knitting projects, not just crochet.
So I have made progress on my brother's mitten.
Woohoo!
I literally just need to Kitchener the ends together.
Oh my god, you are motoring.
I don't
That's
remember where I
amazing.
was at last week. Honestly, I didn't put a progress keeper in. So if anybody remembers where I was at last week, I think it was before the decreases.
I think so too. Yes, because you put your hand on and you were like, this would already be done if it was me.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this one's a full finger width taller than my fingers, which means it should fit my brother about perfectly with his lovely slender pianist hands. Gripe, gripe, gripe.
Gripe, gripe, gripe.
Yeah, I griped about that last week, so I won't do that again. This is out of some, I think it was German sock yarn. I've long since lost so a long time ago, I was teaching my brother to knit socks, and so he bought himself this yarn and borrowed some needles, and he was working on some socks, which ultimately didn't end up happening, so he's like, you can have the yarn back, but pretty please, sort of sheepishly, will you make me something out of the said yarn? And I'm like, sure, what do you want? And he said mittens. And I'm so glad he said mittens and not gloves, because I'm not sure if I love him enough to do gloves.
I'm not sure if we love each other enough to make our own gloves. Never mind make somebody else gloves.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I would make myself gloves. Anyway, mittens.
That seems like a good rule of thumb if you wouldn't actually make one for yourself.
So these have been fraught with learning that I don't actually know how to make a mitten when I think I do.
Sure. Hey, listen. Life's about learning. I'm about to share a project that proves that it doesn't matter how long you knit or how good you are at it, you still mess up things.
Anyway, so I finally successfully made a right-handed mitten with a cuff of the appropriate length, and it's the appropriate width, and it's the fingers are the appropriate length, so I just need to Kitchener the ends closed, and then do a thumb, and then do the other mitten. Anyway, it's this lovely self-striping in varying shades of blue sock yarn that I have no idea what kind of yarn my brother bought 2 years ago at a yarn store.
Probably German sock yarn.
Probably. Anyway, it's not the softest thing ever, but it should make for some reasonably durable mittens. They're nice and close fitting as he requested, so that they can go inside the bigger mitts. Because you have layers of mittens in this province. Although he lives in Toronto.
Of mittens in Canada.
He lives in Toronto right now, and like around Christmas they were having 10 above.
Yeah, well,
which is insane. But generally, especially on the prairies.
Do not envy you guys, because you will also have plus 40 in the summer before Humidex. Yeah, have fun with that in Southern Ontario.
Yeah.
I'm fine here. It gets hot enough as it is.
So these are the liner mittens that you stick inside the big like garbage mitts.
Yeah. I think I'm super excited.
If I get really fancy, maybe I'll see if I can find some conductive thread and just put a little patch of it on the finger and the tip of the thumb. If I get really fancy and actually figure out where to buy that.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I know it's a thing that can work decently, maybe. I've also heard that if you do it wrong or you get the wrong kind, it can scratch your phone screen, so I might need to do some experimenting with that on an old phone.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Anyway. I've done it correctly this time. I've learned so many lessons in humility from these mittens.
So excited for you to be done those mittens so that you just never have to look at them again.
Oh, did I tell you that since the niece and nephew saw me knitting mittens, and then I started talking with their mom about knitting mittens, and she was showing off a pair of mittens that her friend had knit. Her friend knit all the Circle of Friends Hogwarts mittens in the various houses for Christmas.
Yeah.
And so then the kids were getting really into this, and they're like, can we have mittens? And so now they want me to knit the mittens.
Well,
and
they're 5 and 7.
I'm a little bit worried the 5-year-old is expecting mittens for her birthday on Thursday, which is not happening.
No.
So I'm kind of hoping she's forgotten.
Possible. She'll be 5, so there's a good chance.
But I did promise I would knit them mittens, so they will eventually get mittens.
We can have mittens for Christmas. That's enough time.
Yeah. So.
That's okay.
Eventual mittens.
One of my close friends is expecting his first with his wife. So we're going to see baby things shortly, guys. Because I like to make things for small humans. Yeah.
They knit fast.
Well, not only that, but
also they're cute.
They're really good friends. Like I don't knit or crochet small human things for all the people I know who are having babies. I know a lot of people having babies.
Too many baby things?
Not all of them are knit worthy.
Fair enough.
Doesn't mean they're bad people. They're just not. They're not at that level of commitment and friendship where I'm like, okay, this is something where I'm like, no, you know what? He's the kind of person who will drive in 20 minutes out of town to come to me to take me to the freaking walk-in or emergency room and sit with me for 5.5 hours overnight after working a double shift, or 8 days straight.
Is absolutely knit worthy.
He's having his first baby. he gets all sorts of knit things.
Absolutely.
And his wife's a crafter. And I was like, okay, I'm going to make you something because you appreciate it and you like it. And you're freaking good people, like really good people. She's like, yeah. She's like, we don't know what the baby is. I'm like, that's fair. Not everybody wants to know what the baby is before the baby shows up. She's like, yeah, I don't care what colors you choose, Justin. I'm sorry, excuse me, what now? You don't care what colors I pick? That kid is getting a rainbow baby blanket and getting some super cute blue and gray things because all babies can wear blue and gray in my brain.
Absolutely.
Also, given his parents' coloring or her parents' coloring, will look great in it. So that's what I'm doing.
I mean, it's a baby.
It's a baby. Put it in whatever. But I really want to do like a Crayola rainbow colored baby blanket.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure babies like bright colors best anyway.
I don't care. I like bright colors best.
Fair enough.
And over the years,
I think the baby won't care.
I've had the, well, we only do grays because that's neutral. Well, we only do greens because that's neutral. We only do, I'm like, oh my God, you guys, it's a baby. The baby doesn't care. The baby does not care. And I don't care how tiny mom is. Dad's my size. So I'm knitting 6 months and up. Because, let's be honest, my niece's father is my size. And my sister's not that much smaller than me. And the kid pretty much came out at 3 months. So, she didn't really wear newborn.
Yeah.
But we have a friend, another one who's got a wee one who's still just wearing like 6 month, 3 month clothing who's almost a year. So like size is incredibly variable for little people.
Best to make it big and they'll grow into it.
That's my thinking. Because they will grow into it.
Yep.
It's fine. So there's gonna be some baby things popping up shortly. So guess what we get to go do? Do not leave me in Ravelry unattended on my own looking at small human things.
I'm not your babysitter. What you choose to do on Ravelry at 10 o'clock at night is, I can't help you.
10 o'clock at night, try 6:20 in the morning. I was watching Vicarious Knitting. She knitted an elephant.
An elephant?
Yes. And I want to knit an elephant.
I want to make those granny square and hexagon like dinosaurs and hippopotamuses.
What? Oh my God, that's a thing, isn't it? Yes.
It is a thing.
We so need to do that.
They're really freaking cute.
I think that'd be amazing.
I think the last time I thought about those, I didn't know how to crochet yet, and now I do, and I have stuffing fluff at home, and
which is another thing, if I can make more
lots of spare
stuffies.
yarn at work, and oh dear, I think I'm making granny square stuffies now.
I want a granny square stuffy for my birthday. I'm approximately 4. Okay, I got us derailed because I started talking about small humans. Because I'm working on something for a small human that's mine. My niece, who's no longer small.
She's not small. She's a human, but she's not small.
She's, much to her cousin's distaste, who's a year older than her, pretty much the same height. So now I have 2 teenage girls walking around going, we're really tall. Still fit under my shoulder, girls. Keep trying. So as my cousin's girlfriend pointed out, we be tall people. We're trying to explain to her that we're the short side of the family. For my dad's family.
Ooh.
Short. Like, wait till you meet some of our other cousins. They make me look dainty and tiny.
Oh, goodness.
Those boys got a duck to get through door frames.
Oof.
They're
That's tall.
Tall boys. Which is fine. Their dad's tall too. Does it stop me from yelling at them? Nope. Just as loud and vocal with them as I'm with everyone else. Guys, my grandfather is 6'4". My dad's 6'2", 6'3". Would it surprise anybody to realize that, to know that my male cousin sits about 6'3"? No. It's just that we have cousins who are like 6'7", 6'8". That's why we're like, well, yes and no. Technically, you're not wrong. According to the average human, we are tall. In our family, not so much. So the 13-year-old fits an adult medium in height. So I've been making her incredibly slowly a flax light, which is a flax pullover, which is a free pattern from Tin Can Knits, which, by the way, is less than 50% done. So guess who has actually been working on the podcast anniversary?
Hey!
This person! Because if I cast it on for mine, I'd never get hers done. So I've put my foot down. This has to be done first.
Okay.
I really need to get this done and off the needles and given to her now that I'm done making massive mistakes. And since I am desperate to cast on a cardigan for myself, a second one, we should see progress happen a lot quicker. So I've been working this flat instead of in the round because attempt number 4, messing it up in the round, I got mad, and I'm working it flat until I'm done my shoulder increases, and then I will work it in a round. I don't have really that much of a gauge differential, and I'm making it so that it's got a little bit more positive ease than normal so that she can continue to grow up into this thing. I'm using Manos del Uruguay Algria yarn. There's an oldie buddy goodie.
So big.
In this obnoxiously lurid pink color.
Lurid. Ooh.
Lurid pink color.
Word of the day.
And I freaking love it. I am so glad I'm never going to wear it because this is not a shade for Jocelyn. This is a bad shade for Jocelyn.
Yeah.
But my niece is more Caucasian than I am. Her undertone is different than mine, so she can totally wear these kind of violently vibrant colors.
So big. It looks like it's glowing. It looks like it's glowing in person. It looks like it's glowing on the camera. It looks like that in person. That is accurate.
I have it far away from the camera for a reason, guys. It's blowing out and it's sitting literally an 1.5 inches from my chest. And we are a good, 1.5 feet, 2 feet from the camera.
Farther than that.
I'm like, cool. So that's a thing. So I'm slowly making my progress on this one, and I have made this my first up for the podcast anniversary knit along, so it'll be a flax light. So my goal is to have this done and have a harvest cardigan done for myself by the end of March. So got a haul keister. Once I'm done this and I'm no longer knitting one row and purling another, which I am slower at, and I've connected in the round, I figure I'll whip through this pretty quick because I'll do the sleeve, I'll do sleeves.
Oh yeah, so then it just looks like there's a sweater falling off your needles?
Well, that and because I've transitioned, so I'm going to be striping in a highlighter color rainbow later on. It'll be striping into that. So once I get down to the point where I'm like, I might be close to it, I'm going to have to start to watch my yardage to make sure that I flow into the highlighter color on the arms at the same time that I do with the body.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have to do some weighing and measuring and watching, but that's okay. It's a well-written pattern. I really do enjoy Tin Can Knits patterns so far, and it just, for me, doing this first section flat has been a freaking lifesaver. Otherwise, heavens knows I would have had to rip it already again. And it's only because it is this cute little shoulder detail. And you'd think, Jocelyn, it's just a garter shoulder detail. It's not that big of a deal. You're right, it's not. It's 20 stitches. 20 stitches, guys.
But you gotta remember to do those 20 stitches.
But if you don't remember to do those 20 stitches,
doesn't work out so well.
It works out like baloney butts. It's just,
I wasn't aware baloney had butts.
It has butts. So here we go. Again, I have to be far away from the camera. But you get the stockinette, and then right where the shoulder sits, there's this little garter ridge where it runs down the length of the shoulder seam. It looks so cute. It's just this beautiful little tiny cute detail.
Yeah.
I could never remember when I was doing in the round to purl this tiny little 20 stitch section. Nope. Never. Not a zip. I had the extra stitch markers and everything. Just whipped right through it. Doing it flat, guess what? I don't make that mistake anymore.
Excellent.
All right, I got one thing left.
I also have one thing left.
Well, you talk about your one thing because this is the reason why we had to go get sugar today.
Oh, okay. Let me just do this one more stitch here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry. There. Okay, now it'll actually stay on the needles.
Tea.
All right. I 2 weeks ago, after the podcast, needed more yarn. I actually need. That was when we went to get the black to finish my sleeves.
Yeah.
Because I actually ran out of yarn.
I didn't talk you into any of the extra yarn you picked up.
No, but then there was a sale. So I had to pick up this totally tubular yarn from Lion Brand. So it is a nylon tube with acrylic fibers blown into it. And this one, I think the colorway is called Oyster Shell. It's silvery gray with rainbow speckles. And I am absolutely loving it. I have just casted on 36 stitches, and I'm doing one by one ribbing all the way up. And I'm just gonna make a giant tube, and then I'm gonna pull it closed. And if I was prepared, I would have fished out of here. Oh hey, I still have Glam Lamb yarn in here. Should take that out. Okay. In addition to yarn on sale, I also had pom-poms on sale. So once this is a giant tube that I have pulled closed at the top, I'm going to stick this giant black pom-pom on top. And it's going to be an adorable hat that I might keep or might give away because my brother expressed interest in having one of these hats.
That's fair.
Also, the niece and nephew expressed interest in knitting, and so I have another ball of this stuff, which might get turned into a hat very much like this, probably with more stockinette, and it might be their hat. I don't know. I might not get to keep either of these, but I'm thoroughly enjoying knitting with jumbo yarn. This hat is knitting up so quickly. I love it. It's really fun. It's really soft. It's so squishy. Just squish.
Again, I'm mid-stitch. I feel like you need to keep one of them. I shouldn't give both away. You literally wear hats all the time.
I know.
You have 4. Just
I know, and they're not outdoor appropriate hats.
keep a hat.
I know, right?
She's killing me. I'll
Anyway.
knit a hat for my best friend. I'll knit a hat for my mom. I'll just knit a hat for yourself. Putting my foot down. That's your hat.
Okay. Anyway, so thoroughly enjoying this yarn.
You have a
Highly
whole other
recommend
ball.
it.
You're gonna make a hole of the hat.
Yeah. Also-
the other hat's gotta go to your brother, so you can be twinsies.
I'm pretty sure if I was knitting just like a beanie cap that wasn't with the folded over brim and everything, because I'm making a slouchy hat that you can fold over like 4 inches.
Yep.
Which is going to take the entire ball. But I'm pretty sure if you were doing smaller hats that didn't fold over, or if you're doing kids' hats,
You might get 2.
you could totally get 2 out of one of these balls.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have about, I don't know, softball size left. And I have what could totally be a hat right now. So it's going to be a big cozy hat. Or it could be 2 hats. And that is my review of this
Totally
yarn.
tubular.
Totally tubular.
Okay, so I saw this pattern for a sweater, and it's inspired by Wham. And it's done in Antarctica.
Sorry, it's inspired by what?
Wham.
Wham.
It's an 80s reference.
Okay.
And oh my word. Might need to be your new ugly sweater, Christmas sweater cast.
Oh, okay.
Like it is. It screams the 80s. And part of me loves it. And part of me goes, oh my word.
Wait, does it have shoulder pads?
What is wrong with me? Nobody needs shoulder pads. Put my foot down on that one. But it's I will show you afterwards. Just yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been catching up on podcasts because I had to take a break because I've been doing a lot of other things. So I was watching the Knit Girls. And yeah. Oh yeah, I will show this to you.
Okay.
It's good. Guys, I also have to crochet a cat couch now. Thank you, Knit Girls. Thank you for showing me the cat couch. Now I need to make the cat couch for my cat. It's a couch. It's a miniature crocheted Chesterfield.
I
that you
specifically
stick
pulled up this picture that you
the
sent me
foam
earlier.
squares in.
It's a picture of a picture, but
with a little
it looks
mini,
like a dollhouse couch.
with a little
with-
mini
with a
Afghan to go over the back of it.
Oh
for
my
your
gosh, I
cat.
didn't even see that before. I was just distracted by the cat on the couch.
It's meant for a cat.
It's a cat bed that is a couch.
It's a couch.
It's freaking adorable.
And I feel like I need to take the sizing and make it bigger because I don't have a tiny cat. I have a very large cat, and make it big enough so I can stick it on the end of my bed, so she can have a couch on the end of my bed.
Oh goodness.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Your cat is spoiled.
I'm so excited to make this freaking cat couch. My mom thinks I'm crazy. You better believe I showed my mommy.
I think you're a little bit crazy too.
And my mom's like, how much is that pattern gonna cost you? I'm like, $2. She's like, done and done. I'm like, I'm buying it. Cost me $2.
And they say money can't buy you happiness.
Oh my god.
Clearly whoever said that didn't know
Do
about
not
knitting
know
patterns
about
and
crocheted
cat couches.
cat couches. They're just ridiculous. You know I'm gonna make one. She uses all the other things I've made her.
Oh, that's good.
And she likes all the other things I've made her. She uses things I haven't made for her.
Glad to feel appreciated, I guess.
Hey, listen, she's very knit worthy. Whether the item's actually for her or not. Well, I was working on my sleeve last night and I fell asleep when I woke up and she was curled up in it sleeping. My whole cardigan. I'm like, cool. Can I have that back now? We can finish working on that. No? No? Okay, cool.
Guess I'm working on something else.
I guess I am. Alright, I got a couple more stitches and then I'm done this round and we'll talk about the sock. Okay,
The
so I have a fiber flub.
Okay.
And it is my yarn on the go. So we'll look 3 for 1, guys. 3 for... I was out a lot, which means I take my sock with me because I like to work on it. Usually I work socks 2 at a time, toe up. Sometimes I work on them 1 at a time, toe up, depending on what I'm doing. I'm getting comfortable with a new heel, which is the garter stitch heel, which I love so much. Because I walk a lot.
Like everywhere.
If you went to the gym 3 times a week and walked on the treadmill for 30 minutes each time you were there, I still walk 3 or 4 times more than that in a week. It is not uncommon for me to hit 15 to 20,000 steps in a day. I walk a lot. If I'm getting groceries, which I do 2 or 3 times a week, it's at least 20 minutes one way on foot. There are dogs in my house. They need walks. There are, I have to run errands if I'm going to the library, if I'm going to go drop something in the mail, if I'm going to go pick up my prescriptions, when I go to all of my doctor's appointments, and I have too many of them. Too many. I walk. I have to walk to the bus. I have to walk to the doctor's offices. I have to walk home. I walk. If I go to Friday Night Magic, it is a 2-hour walk home.
You know, there are buses.
It only gets me downtown at that point in night. They don't come out here anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do they really not? What time do they stop out here?
Just before everything wraps up. So I could get dropped off downtown by myself as a blind lady.
Not a place you want to be on a
Super
Friday
not
night.
safe.
Yeah, not on a Friday night. No.
So, and then it actually puts me farther away. So when Mr. B is free and he's also going to F&M, he just walks me home. And I'm also slower at night. It used to only take us an hour and 40 minutes or an hour and a half to get home from where we play F&M. But I've gotten slower as my vision's faded because it's harder for me to do things. So I still do them, they're just harder. But I mean, say we get out, I'm going to the theater at the end of the month. When I get out the theater, the friend I'm going to be with hates waiting for the bus. He's pathologically bad about it. It's your brother-in-law. We will end up walking home from the Exchange District.
I don't understand, because if you just wait, you
Nope.
wait 15 minutes for the bus,
He won't wait 15 minutes for the bus.
then you don't have to walk 2.5 hours.
It doesn't matter. He will not wait 15 minutes for the bus. So I will be dressed appropriately to go walking for an hour and a half to 2 hours because I know that's what's going to happen. Now, he will say we'll wait for the bus. He cannot. He just can't stay. Gotta go. Which is, again, fine. I don't mind walking because I've walked and I've been friends with him long enough. It's like being friends with Diana and going out somewhere. I put my cane away because they're really good at helping me get around. You're not overly helpful to the point where I want to schmuck you.
I try not to be overly helpful.
Some people are a little, I'm like, whoa, okay, A, I am not the princess and this is the wrong castle. B, I'm not sleeping with you. Back off.
Oh, really?
You're getting a little too aggressive in the helping department.
Ooh.
Stop. A lot of guys never get second dates because they're all, I can rescue you all the time. I'm like, go away. Not all the time. I don't like
Not all
it.
princesses need rescuing.
Sometimes I shall be the one rescuing you. That's how this works. That's fine. All that aside, Diana and Mr. B are among a short list of people who are really good at just helping me get in and out of dark spaces and moving around and stuff. So I can put my cane away because you're not going to walk me off a curb.
Usually. I'm okay.
We're really good now. So snow bumpers have arrived.
Oh, good.
Those bumper rails I've been waiting for out of snow. You guys ever been bowling? They put up the kid bumper things.
Yeah.
Kids can't put the ball in the gutter all the time. That's what snowbanks are to me. Keeps me on the path. Because I just bounce between the...
Get where you're going eventually as long as they plowed in a straight line?
Well, even if they haven't plowed in a straight line, it's fine. They're not likely to plow off an edge.
Usually.
Yeah, so that's fine. So, super excited to be doing things, but it means I work on my sock, because what can I do when I'm sitting on the bus? What do you mean? On a good day, getting to Diana's house is 40 minutes for me.
Sadly, yes.
It's a 10-minute drive!
Yeah.
Offended I am. So I've been working on my sock. Which is great. You're like, awesome, sock, awesome. You're past a heel. That's great. It socks inside out. This is how I knit my socks. When I knit in the round, it's inside out. It's how it works, guys. I have a foot of a sock. I have a heel of a sock. I even have the leg of a sock. I could stop. This is shorty length. And for a lot of my socks, that's a complete length for me. I have a very long foot.
Okay.
Diana's going to rescue me, you guys.
Oh, dear. Okay, what happened?
This was not a great heel. Now, I kept it because I'm learning a new heel, and I really feel like for a lot of us, especially if we publicize and talk about online and things that we're working on, we tend to only show the really good stuff. We've mastered this technique. Guys, I've not mastered this garter heel. There are holes all over this heel. And I was like, okay, I'll have to sew it up. Like, I'll have to do a little mending. It's not unusual for me to mess up my yarn overs every once in a while, my wrap and turns, right? But it would be a great way to show up. You know, like, not everybody does it perfect. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, nobody's going to die or anything. I missed stitches. I got some serious drop stitches going on.
Oh, dear.
In the heel, which is a super F up. Super F up. So I'm like, you know what? No. Rather than continuing to knit on this sock that needs now a massive repair, not just me going in with a sewing needle and some of my leftover orange thread and sewing up my holes, which is 5 minutes, I need to rip back pre-heel.
Gross.
So Diana always comes to the rescue. I don't know what I'm going to do when she moves to Waterloo. I'm taking applications for Jocelyn Helper. I pay in treats and good company, and I occasionally require Tinking Rescue. So I'm going to go, this is great. I am so mad because I put a lot of work into the sock in the last little bit, in the last week or so, because I literally knit the heel at Knit Nosh last Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
And then I've been working up the body of the leg while I've been in and out of meetings, right? So great. Perfect. Yeah. Hey, could you tink that back with pre-heel for me?
Poor sock. All right. Oof. Yeah, it's a little bit knobbly.
I'm not happy. And I mean, the heel, it was going to be a great way to go, you know what? I've done better heels. But then I noticed that I've lost a lot of the stitches in there.
Afraid so.
And I went, that's not going to work. So,
all right.
I now need rescue. That's great.
I can rescue you.
Thank you. This is my Jack colorway from Sew Into Knitting. Ladies, still love the colorway. Still want the socks. It's not you. It's me.
Looks
okay.
so good.
I know.
I will fix it after.
Thank you. That's it. That's my last thingy.
Okay.
Ending on a sad note. No, not really. I mean, I'll finish the sock and it'll be great, but whatever. I have knots in my hair because I didn't brush it.
So I have no yarn on the go this week because I went places without knitting.
Gotta stop doing that.
I know, right?
Yep.
Well, no, like I went to like dance class on Monday. I'm not going to knit at dance class.
Not really, no. Oh, I really feel like we should have made you some 80s leggings.
There's still time. I have 9 more classes.
I'm so tempted.
I have resumed burlesque dance classes. I'm still not great at it, but I'm having a ton of fun and I'm no longer falling over when I try to do something sexy. So I'm improving.
Just really loved that text. I fell over while trying to do something sexy. And I didn't even blink. I just started laughing and went, yeah, I know that happens. There's gotta be a GIF for that. You found it.
I did.
Oh, so good.
In my defense, I was trying to do something that you're supposed to do in heels. It's actually easier to do in heels, and I did not have heels. Also, I had all of my hair down. My hair is like thigh length.
Long.
So trying to do a head whip with like 4.5 feet of hair,
I feel
really, really hard.
I go to the hairdresser and people are like, oh, you have really long hair. And I'm sitting here thinking, no, my hair is like Bob compared to Diana's.
Yeah, I have the unofficial award for longest hair at my hairdresser.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, long hair.
They took pictures of me for their Instagram last time I was there.
God.
They spent 90 minutes curling it. They took
That's
pictures
true,
for
right?
Instagram.
Yeah, that's fair. I would too. So that is just, oh, I'm so glad because you enjoyed the classes, so I'm glad you're taking them again. Or taking more of them.
Yes, so I've got 9 more of those. We're learning a choreography for Bootylicious.
That's a good video.
Yeah.
You've got to feel so uncomfortable.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
There's a particular part of this routine that's got because you know how you you come up with words for the different dances if you've ever done choreographed dance. So this particular set of moves was boob and squish it and slap.
Crap.
It's not actual squishing.
I need to watch the Bootylicious video to see if I can figure out where the boob and squish and slap move is.
I think it's just her own choreography. Because we're not experienced dancers in this class. We're all very beginner.
Oh my god,
but
so
I do have a video of said class that I will show you after because I'm actually in the front of this one.
Yes. You're the front blurry blob?
Yes. I'm the front blurry blob in the light colored shirt.
So so pumped. Yes, I need to see that.
Okay.
Oh, God, I need to see that so bad.
And the Argyle Dalek knee-high socks.
Of course.
I've decided for each class I'm going to wear a different pair of knee-high socks.
Well, you've got enough. Why not?
Yeah. So I'm gonna be the person with the ridiculous socks in the class.
Beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy. Okay.
Awesome. That had nothing to do with yarn. It was just
Yarn.
something fun I did this week.
It's delightful.
Hey,
I had spinning this week.
Oh, you have spinning.
I have spinning. I didn't even bring it over. Jocelyn's gonna give me grief. Guys, I know another Jocelyn. Listen, I'm gonna get off screen while Diana talks about spinning and tells you what the title's actually called, because section titles. Oh my goodness, my knee didn't want to do that.
So when we remember we have spinning, I announced that we have a spinning yarns segment.
I went to the drop spinning meetup.
Oh, well, get that over here.
And I got cards to hand out.
Cards?
Yeah. Now here's, and I walk, listen, I'm by my computer. I literally walk past this thing 5 times a day. I only spun 2 little knobbly things, so I got nothing done, but.
2 little knobbly things?
Well, I've split up my fiber, so I've got little knobbly dudes. So I'm drop spinning this stuff. And it has been forever and a day, and I'm still continuing to work on it. My little drop spindle's starting to get a wee full. It's art yarn. It is supposed to be art yarn. I am not doing this to get smooth or consistent. I am doing this for fun and to make fuzzy little fun furry bits. Because I really like the look of art yarn. Now, the trick is to be inconsistently consistent with your art yarn. That I'm still working on. But I've been working with this super fun fiber I bought, a coon's age ago. Because I don't know how long a coon's age is. But what I did was split it into small little knobbly nudes.
It's so much easier to spin when it's in little snobbly bits. Oh dear.
Yeah, snobbly bits. I'm not going to call this, I'm not calling this a snobbly bit. This is
Sorry.
That's a bat. No, I don't like that at all. So I've got a couple of left. Because I've got them all portioned out that way. Crinkle, crinkle of the bed. So it's beautiful. It's got some stellina in it. It's got a whole bunch of mixed fibers. And it runs the gamut from this tawny golden color into this nice sort of dark green color. So looks really pretty. I have wound off a little mini intro skein, which I now have literally sitting in a teacup on my fireplace. Because we've reached that time of year where I don't have seasonal themed stuff for a while. And Jocelyn, who's running the Winnipeg Drop Spinners group, had cards. So we can find the group on Facebook if you're in Winnipeg and want to learn how to drop spin. Am I focused?
Reasonably.
Diana will do links and stuff in the
here, hand me that card.
Below.
I will link it in the doobly-doo.
Link it in the doobly-doo. Comments down below, description box, any number of things that we call. So I did that. The official meetup for the month is actually Sunday. So bring a drop spindle.
Sorry, it's when?
This coming Sunday when we're at the Fiber Frolic.
Oh, okay.
But we wanted to meet up an additional time this month because it was St. Distaff's Day, which is a made-up holiday for a made-up saint.
Sure.
That happened in history. So delightful, and we had to do it. So we did. So we met up at the Forks. And we did some spinning because that's generally where the girls meet up. So I wasn't able to stay super terribly long, but I was able to stay for a bit. So that was nice.
I'll have to make sure to bring my drop spindle next week.
Yeah. You're going to have so many texts from me. Don't forget this. Don't forget this. Don't forget this.
Good grief.
All the things. Also, here's another random thing I found on Ravelry because I was left unattended.
Link all of the things.
So much stuff. Hey, if I buy that dad's dating sim game, you won't get so many texts.
Please buy it. I want to know.
I really feel like I need to.
I want to know more about it.
I want to know so bad. I feel like it's going to be the best worst decision like Octodad was.
Yes.
Okay, I think it's on sale again this week, guys. So, having said that, that was it. That's a random spinning segment added. I didn't do a ton, but I did do some, so it does count. I did finish getting the sewing room cleaned up, so now I have a spinning space.
Excellent.
In there, because I lost the spinning space in my bedroom because I got a headboard.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll do it. So, I've got a bit of sorting and fine-tuning, but I mean, it'll be purged a bunch of stuff. It felt really nice to get rid of garbage. Just get rid of stuff. Cool. Alright, that's it. We're on wool gathering.
We are on wool gathering.
Cool beans. So let's do the usual Patreon Knit in Eat Club meetup with all the words. Guys, second last Saturday of every month if you're a Patreon member at a level. Because I don't remember that level. I don't remember the level off the top of my head. We get together and we e-knit in on the Google Hangouts, and we get to see and talk to your lovely faces, and you guys get to talk at us in real time.
Plus or minus half a second.
Yeah, well, I mean, I still rant. I'm really not that different. Which is great because we get to see the projects and stuff, like in person while you guys are working on them, and chat and drink tea. And hopefully Susanna has healed.
Yes.
I got a Christmas card from her. It arrived late.
Oh, wow.
One of our Patreon, she's a good friend, we're in other groups, she busted her hand real bad. So she's like, I might not get the Christmas cards out. I'm thinking, dude, you busted your hand. It's fine if you don't give me a Christmas card this year. You're still gonna get one from me. It's okay. You busted your hand. You busted your dominant hand. Like, there's only so much you can do right now. It's cool. I've done it. It sucks. I think she did it worse than me because she was actually splinted for a while, and I haven't been splinted in years. I mean, now that I've said that, it's going to happen this year, but it's fine. We know this going on. We do this, I got wood everywhere. So it's fine. So we do that second last Saturday of every month. We are creeping closer and closer to $50 a month, and once we get to $50 a month in Patreon pledges, me and Diana start putting up extra videos of us randomly trying weird and different foods.
Weird and different kitchen experiments?
Yes. Experimental Tuesdays. I think I'll just call them that, and if we actually get them up on Tuesday, that'll be great. It's great. Once you get it figured out and it works, it's super smooth. So you get extra content and bonus and we talk, and I do posts and stuff. I'm getting a bit better at consistently doing postings for that because I already run 2 blogs. Adding an additional one in has been hard. It's not been the easiest, but I'm trying to get more consistent with updates for that. That is also where all of the homemade house videos will go, which is where I definitely go in depth on my journey for that. So those are things that are going on in the Patreon that are for Patreon members. Like, that's, if you are able to monetarily help us out with our content creation and prizes and upgrading technical equipment, which is a big thing for us this year, and doing other things and getting around and doing stuff, it allows us to give you guys more back as a thank you. Sort of the goal. Ideally, magically, before Diana realizes it, we'll get $100 a month, and then she has to start reading a book every quarter with us.
Well, I figured out the magic of audiobooks now, so I feel
audiobooks are amazing.
They really are. I'm just like
So
I've finished 2 books already, and it's only like the 3rd.
I know. Audiobooks.
Yeah, audiobooks. Audiobooks are the answer.
Cool. They're just, I love them. Love them.
I also stopped listening to podcasts in favor of audiobooks.
Well, I haven't done that. That's just crazy talk.
I don't have that much time.
That's fair. I do, so it's fine. Or I make that much time. I walk a lot, so I got time.
I don't walk as much, and I don't take the bus as much.
Car travel is just faster in the city.
And I don't have any, when I'm at work, I have to do work. I can't have words in my ear. I can't even have like Italian opera lyrics in my ear,
No.
like
Well,
instrumental, purely.
I can't have any sounds because I transcribe.
Oh,
so, yeah.
yes.
Unless I'm working on podcast stuff, which even then I can't because when I'm video editing, I'm listening.
Fair enough.
When I'm uploading, which takes hours sometimes, then I can. Because depending on how fast my upload speed's going, I got time to crank out 72 squares.
Apparently. 72 finished objects.
It's so good. But so to those ones that we always do the reminder, if you can, don't forget, second last Saturday of the month, we start at noon our time, which sort of just works pretty well for everybody. So that's great. And it's a good time, and we'll keep doing it that way. We will be out and about next weekend.
Yes.
We're going to be at the Fiber Frolic, which is being hosted by the Norwood Naughty Knitters when they meet at the Norwood Community Center here in Winnipeg. It opens at 12 and it closes at 4. And there is a bunch of things going on. Classes start earlier than that, but neither one of us have signed up for classes. So, don't get me wrong. They sound good. I'm just not into knitting gnomes.
Figure, so many, maybe, I don't know if this is like a weird thing, but I feel like so many of the classes are like, I could take a class, but I could also just figure it out myself, and I almost like figuring it out myself better, because if I figured it out myself, it sticks better, rather than having someone tell me over and over and over again until eventually it sticks. If I have to work to make the mental connection, then it sticks better. Maybe I'm weird. I don't know.
No, I think it just comes down to how your learning style is. Like, some people like to have that hands-on-hand teaching. Some people like to have hands-off teaching. You and I are puzzle solvers. We like you've seen me. I'm like, I don't know how to do this thing. Dive in.
My job is literally solving logic puzzles. I solve logic puzzles for a living. That is what writing code is.
Yeah, so like I enjoy the puzzle solving nature of I don't understand what I did wrong, but let's figure this out. Which makes me a great chef and a poor baker, because being a chef or cooking dinner is an art form. Being a baker is being a scientist.
Yes, baking is chemistry, 100%.
100%. I'm not super salt. I can do basics in baking, but it's not. It doesn't go well if I stray. But if I mess around in the kitchen while I'm cooking dinner, 9 times out of 10 turns out just fine.
Fair enough.
Yeah, which is really weird considering how much I like to super detail orientate and plan things. That I'll wing dinner.
There's a certain freedom to take what you have in the fridge and accent it with some spices.
Yes.
And make a stew or a soup or
Something,
whatever.
Yeah. Now I have an Instapot. All the things, you guys. There's an Instapot recipe for beef stroganoff.
I don't even know what a stroganoff is.
Essentially, it's beef, mushrooms, egg noodles, and a sauce.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It's really quite tasty. Quite good. And I can do it in my Instapot. Yay! Super pumped. So, no, it's just one of those things that we do. Patreon is definitely something to check out if you don't know what it is. If you can't, you guys, that's fine. Not everybody can. We're in no way, shape, or form offended or still don't want to talk to you. Let's chat. You want to catch me? Catch me on Instagram. Let's be honest, we finally have a moderator for our Ravelry threads, which we have desperately needed for a while because both of us are piss poor at it.
Yeah.
And there is no excuse. We're not good at it. So grateful to Asa, who is willing to help me out with that so that I don't have to try to do that. And I can just check in when I've got the opportunity and the visual acuity to do so, or when I've kicked Diana and gone, go do this for me. My eyeballs hurt. I don't want to look at screens anymore. Which I have done. I've sent her text and gone, you do this. I gift you work.
You are allowed to do that.
Try not to too often. I know you're busy. But you can catch us on Instagram all the time because my phone is my primary source for my Instagram, which means when my eyes are having a bad day, my phone just talks to me. And I'm quite competent at maneuvering around on my phone to respond to messages and things. Not great if I'm looking at photos. It's good for comments and stuff. This is just his image. I'm like, cool. I got sent a picture.
Image. Very descriptive.
Sweet. Thanks, guys.
I figured out how to turn on the thing, not on Instagram, but on Twitter, there's a feature where when you post a picture, it'll ask you for an image description.
Yes.
Which can be, I think, 480 characters,
yes,
in addition to your 240 in your tweet.
Yes.
I didn't know that was a thing until a couple months ago.
Cool.
So I've turned that on, and I am now much, much better about describing the images that I post on Twitter for screen readers.
Which is great because... nothing. Also same with GIFs, or GIFs, or emojis. Screen readers also don't do those, guys. Sometimes you will get yellow circle...
Which may or may not actually be a yellow circle.
Yeah. It might be a smiley face. I don't know. People send me emojis. I don't know why. In the private chat for our in-person Winnipeg Knit Club, the girls now do emojis, and then underneath they describe what emoji is and they put on there.
Sometimes an emoji just captures the emotion better than any words could.
Yeah. So I see this little blurry image that underneath is the descriptor for Justin. I was like, whoa, hey, look at it. What's going on right now? Awesome. It's a lifestyle. No, it's just something we have to do, so it's fine. Other wool gathering, yeah, because we're going to be at the Fiber Frolic. And then we've got the Patreon happening.
Podcast anniversary.
Podcast anniversary is running. You can talk for a while. I want to drink some tea.
The podcast anniversary in celebration of 3 years of podcasting, which is a ridiculous number. 3 years. Gosh, I haven't done anything for 3 years besides school. Like, literally, I haven't even held a job for 3 years.
You've been with your partner for longer than 3 years.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. That didn't occupy the same brain space as, like, putting in effort to do a thing.
I'm so glad I require more effort than your husband. I'm sure he'll love hearing that.
At the podcast. I'm not counting relationships. I'm counting things that involve work.
That's fair.
Anyway, in celebration of crazy numbers of podcasting, we are knitting sweaters by Tin Can Knits. Adult size sweaters. As of January 1st. Have I cast mine on yet? Heck no.
It's That's such a your
Are
thing.
other people almost
Oh
done
my
their
gosh.
sweaters?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. I might even possibly have 2 done by the end of March, because when I buckle down, I buckle down.
So, if you would like to be eligible for prizes, post a picture of your finished sweater in a thread that we will put up probably soon, because I know some of you are getting close.
Thanks, Elsa. I'm just...
We have a chatter thread open right now. Feel free to post in-progress pictures and just chatter about stuff, but we'll have a finished objects thread that you post your finished object in. We're doing digital prizes this year because we had so much trouble mailing physical things last year.
I still have things I need to finish
It's
mailing
just-
off from last year.
It was just a mess. So we're doing digital ones.
Hot mess. We're doing digital this year, guys, so we can just bypass that whole process.
So if you keep your Ravelry wish list updated, we will be pulling from that if you were a lucky prize winner.
It'll be random.
There was a question on the thread that I actually looked at the other day.
I have not looked.
People were asking about where do you find this wish list? That is a great question.
That is an amazing
I actually
question.
didn't know. So, you know how in Ravelry you have your favorites, right? You've got your drop downs, you've got your projects, your yarns, your stash, your favorites. In your favorites, you have your bundles. If you've never made a bundle, you will still have one bundle. That is your wish list.
Yep.
So whatever's in your wish list bundle is what we will be looking at to give you a prize.
I will do a little side video, and I will add it to the end of this episode.
And
I will walk people through how to add a thing
into
a wish list bundle. I will do that for you guys. Yeah.
And on a pattern page, when you're looking at a pattern, you click save and favorites. Then somewhere on that little dialog box, there's a check mark for like add to wish list.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll walk. And I have nice large font. It'll be easy to tell, guys. I'll even turn the screen reader off because he can get annoying sometimes.
Oh gosh.
Unlike other men, sometimes, depending on the man, you can shut him up.
He has an off button.
He has an off button. I just saw a cat walk into the kitchen and I'm like, there's nothing in there for you to eat. I swear, cat.
I think she begs to differ.
She always begs to differ. Alright. I think that's it for wool gathering. I think that's all we had to...
I think so.
Yeah. I'm sure we've forgotten something. It happens all the time.
Okay. That just leaves literature.
You need a couch. She needs a couch.
She does need
Look
a
at
couch.
her. She just got a cat tree for Christmas. She does not have enough love in her life. She needs a couch.
Absolutely.
That's...
She isn't spoiled enough already.
Heavens no. I'm going to make it twice the size of the couch and the pattern and put it at the end of my bed. My father is going to think I'm ridiculous. He won't be wrong.
Pattern modification idea.
Yep.
Throne.
Oh my god.
You just make it slightly less wide and a bit taller and you make it out of like throne colors. Like red and brown or something.
Dad, my throne won't stay upright for my cat to sleep on. Can you get me a piece of plywood? It needs to be these dimensions and sanded so I can stick covers over it. He's gonna do it too.
Your kitten needs a throne?
Oh, mine might not, but my mom's might. Get one. He's like 17 years old and he gets a cat throne couch to sleep on.
Absolutely. I think that sounds great.
Apparently he was sleeping on Dad the other day and he wasn't paying attention and fell off the couch.
Ooh.
Didn't even woke up and it's like he saw nothing.
Oh,
Poor old man.
we're talking about literature.
Literature. Time to talk books.
Books.
Jocelyn's been reading.
Alright, what have you been reading?
Diana's finished 2 books for the year. I have now finished my 4th.
Yes, well.
Your goal is 24, mine's 100. Like,
Yeah.
we have vastly different reading goals for the year.
Yeah.
So I listened to last year, if you guys remember, I blasted through the James S.A. Quarries Expanse series, but I didn't write reviews for them. So now I've had to go back and start re-listening to the books to make sure I get the right details in the right books and in the right order as I write the reviews. So I finished books 2 and 3, and I've written the reviews, and I've started book 4 of the James S.A. Quarries series. I hear her doing something.
She is eating something.
Oh, can you go get it out of her mouth? It's probably plastic and she shouldn't have it.
It's totally
She's
plastic.
hiding from me. She's not supposed to have plastic in her mouth. I'll keep talking about the ASA Quarry books because Diana's rescuing... Yeah.
Yep, that's plastic.
Yeah, she can't... She just hides. She loves... You're gonna bust a tooth, buddy.
silly thing. You can't have plastic.
She
It's
begs
not
to
good
differ.
eat.
Sometimes I miss plastic, guys. I don't see it. So the James S. A. Corey series, or the Expanse series, started with Leviathan Wakes, and then I get all the book orders out of sequence, but you can find them. It's a really big science fiction series. I overwhelmingly love it because it is not science. It's a lot of, there is science, here's some wonderful character and plot development. Cool! And quite frankly, it's a fantasy epic in space.
It definitely is that.
And I love me some fantasy epics. So I'm thoroughly enjoying the re-listen to. I know I'm going to struggle with book 4, which is what I'm on, because it's not my favorite. I like all the other ones. So it's either book 4 or book 5. I'm not a huge fan
Is that
of.
the one where all the characters go off and do their own thing?
Oh, I like that one.
Okay.
It's the one where they go through the gates.
Ah, yes.
That's not my favorite.
Huh, okay.
So everybody's got one in a series. And the series should wrap up this year. So the the Book Riot's Read Harder Challenge, which I try to do every year, gives you 52 prompts to try to meet to read, and one of them is to read the last book in a series. And I've got the last book in the James S. A. Corey series coming out this year. I am certainly going to be listening to it and getting the end of the story. So does one of two things. A, it lets me get caught up on my blogging, which I am behind on everything. And it lets me sort of gear up so everything's relatively fresh in my brain before I literally nosedive into a whole bunch of other things. So that's what I've been doing. Also, they're really nice, and I've listened to them before, so if like I miss a moment or two of dialogue, I still really know what's going on.
Nice.
And I would love it so we could move everything so something can kill us in centimeters instead of inches.
Alright.
What else am I? Oh, I'm still working on The Decline of Magic and Religious Practice in 16th century England by Keith Thomas. I was literally reading off the chapter headings to Diana.
It sounds
It's
very.
a textbook.
It's either a textbook or it's very occult, and I wasn't sure which.
It's a textbook, and I love it.
Uh,
It's definitely not like a get it and go to university class textbook, but it's definitely one of those, hey, you really like learning about this thing? So here's a very highly structured examination of a very specific and narrow range of topic, which is wonderful, and I love it. Not for everybody, and I understand that. But it's a beefer of a book, so it's going to take me a while.
be hearing about it for a few weeks.
Yeah, easily, because I have to do it when I want to sit and focus on something. And let's be honest, there's anime to watch.
Fair enough. I started and finished a book this week. It was very short.
Woo-hoo! That's okay.
It was a whole 2.5 hours on Audible, and I listened to it at 125% speed, so it did not take 2.5 hours.
No, it would not.
I listened to Eat That Frog, which is... Somebody recommended it to me at work, and is a good book, but I feel like I kind of already knew like 98% of the stuff that was in it.
Okay.
The gist of it is, there's some, I think it's a Mark Twain quote about, if the first thing you do in a day is eat the biggest, ugliest frog in the pond, then you can go through your day knowing that that's probably the worst thing that's going to happen to you. So the rest of your day has got to be better than that.
Well, that makes sense. That's sort of what I do with my to-do list. I pick the biggest, ugliest task that I don't want to do, and I make myself do that first.
That's the gist of the entire book.
Cool.
And if it's a really big thing, then you break it up. And
Oh, yeah.
so if it's a thing that's going to take like multiple days, weeks, months, whatever, you just break it up, and that's your big frog task for the day, and you do that. And then everything else is just about getting rid of the little superfluous tasks that I don't really have anyway. It's also delightfully dated because he talks about PDAs and Blackberries.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's from 2006. So
That's showing its age.
but if you just replace those with like social media, it still holds up just fine. So I don't know, it's mildly interesting. I don't feel like I especially learned anything out of it.
Well, that's
But-
fair.
It's a short read. Eat That Frog. The other thing that I started last week, I don't remember.
Last week.
I started reading First Bite, which is an examination of how we learn to taste and what tastes we like and don't like and how those are developed.
Okay.
So if you
That's by
remember,
the lady from Who Considered the Fork, right?
yes. So
Yeah.
if you remember us waxing poetic and lavishing praise on Consider the Fork
for
like a
long
month ago.
time.
Yeah. Same author, same narrator, still great.
Good.
Instead of the history of food, this one's an examination of how you taste things and how that develops. And so I'm accidentally reading a book about how to get children to eat vegetables. That's like 90% of the book so far. I'm not even halfway through, so I'm not sure what the rest of the book is about, but so far it's largely about how to get children to eat vegetables. It's actually fascinating. Like, so much of it is that children and adults alike decide what they like and don't like before they've even tried it.
Yes.
Like, how many adults, like, have ever had, I don't know, you just, like, decide you don't like something, or there's, like, this one time in your childhood you didn't like this thing and you never ate it again, even though you're, like, 36 now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah, like...
adults and children, not so different. We can be trained in the same ways.
Okay, that's probably a really good thing for me to give Mr. B for his birthday.
It's absolutely fascinating. The thing I was listening to this morning for, this is your quick and dirty how to get your kids to eat vegetables tip.
Okay. I'm ready.
I don't have kids. I'm just parroting the book.
I don't have children.
But there's this tiny tastes concept from an author that I don't remember. Basically, you have a pea-sized amount of a vegetable that you and your child have both agreed on that they have to try it. They don't have to eat it. They don't have to eat a whole plate full of it. They just have to at least lick this tiny pea-sized amount of some vegetable that you have selected together. And if they do that, they get a sticker. And you just keep this up for a week. That same vegetable, they just have to at least lick it, they don't have to eat it, and they get a sticker. And the idea being that children have this innate fear, in quotations, of new food. There was a fancy scientific word for fear of new food, but it's like a survival mechanism that you are afraid of new food, it might be poisonous. And so you have to, like, subconsciously, psychologically train them that no, this food won't kill you and actually it tastes alright. Apparently it works really well.
Sure. There's a 13-year-old upstairs. I just follow around behind her singing about vegetables. He hates it.
Veggie Tales?
No, I just randomly bust into words and I make them moderately badly lyrical. I think the other day I was singing poetically about onions on pizza. Usually it's, veggies are the best! And I just walk around behind her doing the whole motion too. Gotta eat the vegetable! And of course she's like, oh God, you're gross! And I also do that in public, so like I'm also embarrassing. I do it when my mom's phone goes off. I start dancing. I go, Mom, your phone's ringing. I don't care.
So as the book says, thoroughly enjoying your vegetables in the presence of said picky eater is helpful. Embarrassing them is probably not, but is hilarious.
Heavens no. It's so the wrong way to go about it. I'm not her primary caregiver. That's not my purpose. My purpose is the and. So like she knows I like vegetables. She watches me eat them all the time and enjoy them. But I just like teasing her because they're not her favorite thing. So it's like we're sitting like it's sitting Christmas and I'll be like, you need some mushrooms. She's just like, get away from me. I do like some broccoli. But that's just because that's what you can do as an aunt. Like, I'm not responsible for her primary nutrition. I'm the person that orders pizza. Like,
oh, that's your function as the aunt.
That's my function, and I'm comfortable with my function. My sister's comfortable with my function, so it's fine.
Huh.
Also, sometimes it's just fun to sing about how vegetables are the best while you're reheating your vegetables. Quite frankly.
Honestly, after listening to this book, I'm like, man, I really want some roasted Brussels sprouts.
Oh yeah, roasted Brussels sprouts are tasty.
Yeah. I was also mildly amused how the narrator pronounces Brussels sprouts, because we just like, it's Brussels sprouts. But she very carefully says Brussels sprouts.
Oh my.
It takes like half again as long to say Brussels sprouts.
That's a very clinical.
It's so very British. I love it.
So good. Okay, cool. Alright, now that we've learned that the wrong way is the way Jocelyn does it. You're welcome for all the embarrassing things you're going to do to your child now. Which is good.
Oh, that's what I've been reading.
Sweet.
And we'll probably, this is like a 20-hour book. I'll be on it for another couple weeks yet.
Oh yeah. I'm yawning because I didn't have caffeine today.
My pot of tea is wearing off.
Well, I had a panic attack yesterday, so no caffeine today. So that's fine.
I have cake to finish.
You do have cake to finish. What do we got left?
That was it.
Sweet. In which case I can say, heck, Diana's got cake. So I'll say until next week, I'm Jocelyn.
I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you,
Don't forget to knit.
Hey guys, so here's that little extra clip we were talking about. This is going to be fun. I've got Patreon open, so if you want to take a pause, get to Patreon, find a pattern you'd like to save, something that's you're interested in making. In this case, we're going to go with the kitty couch I was talking about. This is the original pattern project page for it. I mean, I'm going to add it to my wish list and then immediately turn around and buy this bad boy, but that's because my cat needs that couch. Perhaps not in green. But here on my very large screen, you're going to want to pull up a pattern, something that you are thinking about getting but you haven't purchased for yourself yet. And you can see all nice and big font. I did turn off my screen reader, so I'm going to be a little bit slow, you guys. Mostly because that's just, without him talking at me, it's difficult. You're going to go over and find your favorites. Now, if you've saved the pattern already before, it's going to say in favorites and the heart will be highlighted. If you have not, it'll say save in favorites and the heart won't be highlighted. In this case, I've already saved him in favorites. But when you click on save in favorites, we're going to have to do a bit of scrolling because, again, my screen is quite big so that I can read my font. I have a picture of the project that I'm going to be saving pop up, and on the side here, ignoring my morning allergies, I have a list of bundles. So you can create a bundle or you can choose one of the bundles you've got listed below. Now I'm going to scroll through here. I moved over, instead of putting things on a queue to putting them into favorite bundles. So I have a sweaters, I've got crochet garments. Here's that fancy little wish list dude. I've got other types of bundles that I go on. Some have photos, some don't. I don't know how the photo versus not photo thing. I haven't figured that part out yet. But what this lets me do is it lets me run across a pattern and I go, oh, that's cute. I can put it somewhere to search later, and I'll show you how to use these favorite bundles next. But it also lets me keep my queue clean and small. So things that are on my queue are things that I'm actually going to make, and things that are in my favorites bundles are things that have caught my attention and I want to take a look at later. So we move in here. We're going to add the cat couch, or the kitty couch, to this bundle, which is my wish list bundle. So I'm going to scroll my mouse over, highlight it, click on it, and it'll go cool. It's technically now in your wish list. As you can see, that's got a bolded print change. Then I'm going to roll over and scroll down, because again, I've got some big old font going on. Scroll down a little bit more till I find my Save Changes button. I'm going to click my Save Changes button. It's going to go away. I'm back to my pattern project page. But what I've done is I've now saved the kitty couch. Oops, lost my mouse. Saved my kitty couch pattern, the green sofa, to my wish list. Now, say you want to take a look at your wish list. You're like, Jocelyn, I don't even know what's on my wish list. How do I edit that stuff? Go up to your notebook. And under your notebook, you have your usuals. You've got your projects, your stash. That's queue. So that's things you want to work on. And here's your little heart for your favorites. Click that bad boy. My computer's going to think for a moment or two, and it's going to go, hey, cool, let's go to your favorite section. Now, in my favorite section, I have a bunch of stuff going on. I have on the side, you always have your notebook drop-down menu pop up because you're in your notebook section right now, and it goes through my favorites. So it tells me I have a lot. I have 890 things that I think are really cute, and I have 20 bundles. Whew. That's a lot. I might need to narrow that down a little. I am on my bundles, so I didn't need to click that. Go me. But what I can do is my bundles are now, if I back up here slowly, all sorted alphabetically by what they are. So depending on what I'm looking for inspiration-wise, I can go in and narrow down my search rather than just doing a straight database search, which can get overwhelming. But what I need to find is my wish list bundle, and I think we're wish list is at the top. I lied. Wish list, guys, I had to get close to read the screen. So if I click my wish list bundle, it'll pull up all the things I currently have in the bundle that I have asked as a hey, you want to buy me a gift? These are some things that I would love to have. So now that I've done this and set this up, guys, I'm going to go through and I'm going to actually update my wish list by taking things on and off. I mean, we already added things. I'm going to take things off that I don't need to have on here anymore because I'm not as interested in doing them anymore. See, like, I put the ribbon wrap there. It turns out I'm not really that big into wraps. So let's just get rid of this bad boy because I already know I'm not a huge fan of it. So I scrolled over the picture and the little edit button came up, so I can click edit. And it goes, cool, what would you like to edit this with? And if we go down and we read our list here, I can select a bundle, so I can change what bundle it's been moved to if I don't want to have it on my wish list, but I'm still kind of thinking about it. I can put in a comment. I can add a tag. I can create a note. I can create a new bundle. I can change where things are going. Don't forget to save your changes. But I should be able to go, I don't want that on my wish list anymore. Or do I have to push a different button? Okay. May have led you guys down the wrong path. Oh, yes. Can you tell my font's huge? Ravelly would like to double check. Are you sure you want to remove this from your wish list? Yes, I do. Yes, I need my font this big, guys. It's kind of crazy, but that is what it is. I'm also going to take it off shawls. And again, I pushed the little X button where the shawls was. I got that little prompt up here that says, are you positive? And yes, I am. So you don't, accidentally delete something that you didn't mean to. Just to double check to make sure, because me and computers, let's save some changes. And whoop, it went away. It's no longer on any of my lists. There you go, guys. That's a basic rundown of how to add things into your wish list. If you want more in-depth, me just sort of showing you guys how we use Ravelry, because me and Diana don't generally use it as a forum posting site. We use it as a database collection management sort of idea. And that's what we do and what we love to do. Let me know in the comments or find me on Instagram and stuff at the Northern Knits podcast stuff, and I can certainly do some more of these for you guys if you want. I have really big font. I promise to keep my screen reader turned off. He's annoying sometimes. He also talks very fast. Most people start at Here the Normal Dude. He runs at about 65 to 70 words per minute for me, which is really quick for a lot of people because I listen to him a lot. There's a lot of things I can process a lot quicker. So I'm going to go in and edit my wish list. I'm going to buy this. Let's be honest, guys. This is happening. This is happening for my cat. And no, I'm not making it the size that it indicates. I'm going to make it a 3-seat sofa, and I'm going to make it deeper and bigger. So I'm already trying to modify a pattern I've never done before because, that's how I work. It's going to be so cute. Okay, guys, have a great week, and we will see you next week, okay? Also, here we go. Random cat fact for the day. I have 2 monitors. Morning coffee, morning ginger ale. And today's cat fact is that cats have 300 million neurons. Dogs only have 160. There you go. Bye.